Many people are getting confused when filing their 2025 tax returns because they have two types of expenses, that is the iTax captured expenses and non-iTax expenses. So the big question is, how do you correctly record both in your return without mixing them up? So in this video, I'll show you exactly how to do it step by step. Before you even fill anything in your return, you need to confirm your iTax purchases all expenses. So you log into your iTax portal and check all the captured purchases that have been recorded under your KRA PIN. So make sure you confirm what is actually captured before you even transfer anything to your Excel sheet. Make sure you double check because you can find that some expenses or some purchases were not captured in your iTax system, or some were captured twice. So you need to carefully check what is correct. Now, if you want a detailed step-by-step on how to check and verify your iTax purchases properly, I already have a full video on that. So check the link in the description below. So now let's handle the iTax expenses. Once you download your Excel file, I'm assuming that you already know how to do that step. But if you are not sure how to download or set it up, I've already explained it through my non-eTIMS expenses video, which I've linked in the comments below. Now, inside the Excel template, you'll go to your profit and loss section. This is the same section where previously you used to enter all your expenses before the iTax rules were introduced. So now here is what you do. You will take all your iTax captured purchases or expenses and start categorizing them properly into the expense field provided. So for example, we have office rent, fuel, let's say you pay some commissions, advertising costs, and any other expense that appears in your iTax records. So you simply allocate each expense into its correct category. Then you enter the totals for each category in the expenses section. So assuming you have rent of 100,000 in the whole year, but only 60,000 was captured in iTax records. So you will include 60 in the iTax records and then 40 in the non-iTax record. So if you have the same expense that has some iTax and some non-iTax, you simply need to categorize the specific amount that was captured in the iTax purchases or your iTax records in your KRA system. And then, this is very important, make sure that the total of all these categorized expenses must equal to your total iTax captured expenses. So if the captured total in the iTax was 1 million, make sure all the categories, if you add up rent, fuel, commissions, advertising, these are just examples. If you add all those total, they should be equal to 1 million. So next is the non-iTax expenses. So these are expenses that are not captured in your iTax, but they are still allowable for your business depending on the nature of the expense and the proper documentation. Remember, for the non-iTax expenses, you must have the proof of that expense if it is allowable. You must have the message, let's say it's M-Pesa message or a bank transfer, or the receipt that you are given for that purchase or expense. Now, in your Excel template, you will enter these total of these expenses in the separate section under section T, tax computation cell for individual returns. But for companies, this is also found under the tax computation field in your template. Now, I will not go deep into the whole process on how to fill in and submit your non-iTax expenses because it's a process, because I've already covered that in another detailed video. You can find that video linked in the comments for the full guidance. Now that you have entered both your iTax and non-iTax expenses in the correct sections, the final step is simply to ensure that everything is properly reflected in your tax computation. So the system will automatically combine your allowable expenses, that is both the iTax and the non-iTax expenses, and give you the total business expenses. So you don't have to manually merge everything together again. The Excel computation does that for you. Now, if you have financial statements, this is also very important. The total of your items and non-items expenses should align with what is reflected in your financial records. So this ensures consistency between your books and your tax return. Finally, when your items records are correctly filled and your non-items total amount is correctly filled, you can go ahead and validate your Excel template. Now, in summary, this is a process that you should follow when filing returns with both items and non-items expenses. So first, you need to download your items captured purchases from the iTax records. Then you record them correctly in your profit and loss section under the right expense categories. And then download the manual and items expenses CSV file and fill in all your expenses, making sure that you know the total amount at the end of that process. Then fill in your non-items expenses, the total amount from the manual and items file in the section T, that is the tax computation self. Then ensure that everything is properly aligned with your financial statements if you're a company that you're using financial statements. Then validate your Excel template. If everything is correct, validate your template. Then when filing the returns, the first thing you need to do, you upload the CSV file first together with the required attachments. So you can refer to my non-items video in the comments below for the whole process again. Once the CSV file is successful, then you proceed to upload your validated Excel template as usual. And finally, you submit your return. And that is how you correctly handle both items and non-items expenses when filing your 2025 tax return. Now, if you are still stuck on how to check your items captured purchases or how to properly handle and support your non-items expenses, I've already done detailed videos on both topics, so you'll find them linked in the comments and description below. So make sure you watch them because they complete the full filing process step by step. So if this video helped you, give it a like so it can reach more people who are struggling with the same issue. And don't forget to subscribe and make sure you reach out to us through the WhatsApp number in the comments below in case that you need help in filing your tax returns before the deadline. See you in the next one.